Hello friends, my name is Ramasu. Today we shall discuss about a topic, the Agile versus Waterfall methodology. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management and you want to learn about it. So let's start, friend. First of all, I request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. Friend, Agile and Waterfall both are the methodologies for managing the software development based projects. Agile and Waterfall are basically two contrasting methodologies in software development and project management. They are different in significantly with their approach for planning, execution, and flexibility with respect to project management. So first we shall discuss about Waterfall. And waterfall methodology is a linear and sequential approach for software development. We can say if you see in detail, like for example, in which first there are few phases like requirement, design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance. So these are the major phases in the waterfall model. And here you can see one thing, that once the requirement phase will start, you cannot and design phase will start, you cannot go back to the requirement phase. So that means it is sequential. Sequential means that once the next phase start, you cannot go back to the previous state. And once the phase will finish, only then the next phase will start. So there is no concept of parallel development or parallel things are there. It is totally a sequential or linear way of development. So if we talk about in detail, requirement gathering is a phase in which detailed requirement gathering are done with the customer for in the beginning of the project. Then the design phase. Design phase means that it is the phase in which we do the functional architecture, functional specifications are specified, and once the scoping and functional specifications designing are done, then the implementation will start, in which we do the actual software development. Once the software development completes, the testing phase will start, in which the testing will be done by the internal QA team and the customer as well. Once the testing will finish, the deployment will start. In the deployment, the release will be deployed on the in the environment, and the customer do the system will be handed over to the customer as well. After the deployment, the maintenance will start, and issues or updates will be managed in the maintenance phase. So this is basically a waterfall model, in which again you will notice that once one phase will finish, then the next phase will start, and in the next phase, when it will start, we cannot go back to the previous phase. So that is called as the concept of waterfall. Now we can talk about the agile methodology. Agile methodology is another approach of software development which we use in project management. It emphasizes flexibility, collaboration, and iterative development. And basically, it is not the approach of sequencing. We basically divide the project into smaller chunks called as iterations or sprint, and each sprint normally have a time period of 3 to 4 weeks time period. And at the end of the sprint, we potentially shippable product increment is done. Basically, sprint is a basically 3 to 4 week time period, in which we do the planning, designing, development, testing, deployment, and review with the customer. So basically, if we have 40 tasks, then we divide the 40 tasks into 10 tasks. Okay, and the sprint will contain, for example, 10 tasks, and in the first sprint we only do the planning, development, testing for the 10 tasks. Okay, once the sprint will finish, then the next sprint will start until we reach at the end of the task. Agile, if we talk about the key concept of agile is the iterative development. That means we divide the project into smaller chunks, manageable iterations, and with a continuous delivery, we complete the project. Next is the customer collaboration. That means the interaction with the customer is very high. We are talking with the customer, getting their feedback, whatever he wants to say. His feedback is very important. Then adaptive planning. Adaptive planning means that if there are any changes are required, like for example his priorities are changed and something needs to be adjusted, so agile is very flexible here in that manner. Then cross-functional teams like means that the like for example software development, software designers, the deployment team. So cross-functional team concept is very important, and cross-functional teams are very much self-organized. They are basically self-motivated. They are taking the decisions by their own self. So in the agile, the teams are very much empowered. Continuous feedback, that means whatever you are making, you are completing the work, you are getting the feedback from the customer, from the internal teams as well, and with the demonstration, with the reviews, we are basically improving the things. Especially retrospective sessions are there, in which once the work is completed, we do a session in which we sit together and try to judge that what thing goes well, what thing goes wrong. If anything goes too well, then we have to continue the approach. If something goes wrong, we have to avoid the negativity. Then flexibility. Agile methods are very much flexible in terms of scoping, requirement gathering, priorities, project lifecycle. Whatever the things are there, we have to adjust it as per the need of the customer feedback as well. Now we can talk about the differences. If we talk about the approach, there are significant differences in the agile and the waterfall approach. Agile is basically an iterative and the adaptive approach, and the waterfall is the sequential approach. Flexibility, if we talk about waterfall, is less flexible with respect to change management. Like it is, waterfall is very rigid, and the agile is very much flexible with respect to changes and adjust the changes. Customer involvement is very much high in the agile, and as compared to waterfall, waterfall has less customer interaction or involvement with respect to agile. Risk management. Agile mitigate risk by addressing them early and adapting to changes, while waterfall addresses risk in a more linear way, or you can say at a very later stage. Documentation. Waterfall emphasize much on the documentation, whereas agile focus on working software over extensive documentation. Time to market. Agile often deliver the working software faster in the market as compared to waterfall. So you can say very positive things are there in the agile as compared to waterfall. That is why agile nowadays is more popular than waterfall approach. However, in the end, we will definitely say that both methodologies, waterfall and agile, have their strengths and weaknesses, and the choice between them depends on the project nature, organizational culture, customer requirements, and the team's preferences as well. Waterfall is suitable when requirements are well defined and changes are unlikely, while agile shines in projects with evolving requirements and the need of a frequent customer feedback. So friend, thank you. Thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with the friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video.